my vlogs by saying good morning, mon petit, but it's definitely not the morning anymore. So I'll start by saying good afternoon and hello and welcome back to the weekly vlog. I actually was not planning on picking up the camera today. It is Sunday afternoon and Alex and I have been having the loveliest day, other than obviously filming our morning stroll. This morning we had a gorgeous little walk through Winchester this morning. The ducks were quacking, the sun was shining, and honestly it is so peaceful walking along the riverside. You would never actually know that you were in a city. If ever you were planning on visiting Hampshire or visiting the New Forest, I would definitely recommend a little day visit to Winchester. There is so much to see, there is so much to do. It's one of my favorite cities in the world. I'm so lucky to live so close to it, and we actually ended up popping by a little antique store on the way home. It is basically my dream day today. We started the day with a lovely walk, we popped by an antique store, and I have a little loot to show you, and then this afternoon we're popping out for lunch and going to a garden centre. And that is my idea of a very nice day out. But that is why I'm looking at the way I look today. I've got my weekend glasses on, which I know sounds ridiculous to say, but they're my really comfy glasses, like the glasses I wear when I don't really care how I look. Like, I don't want to look elevated. They're not my fancy glasses. I've got those on, barely got any makeup on, hair has been chucked up in a little pony, and I've basically just still got my walking outfit on, my favourite little H&M trousers in the gorgeous like brown colour, just a plain little black tee. And let me show you what we picked up, because if there is one thing that I feel like is the perfect thing to pick up from antique centres, it is terracotta pots. I always end up getting my garden bits from antique stores if I can, or second-hand stores, because you can get the items so much cheaper. These pots, none of them were more than £2. I think I got this whole loot for about a tenner, which is incredible. So I wanted to get a few more pots. We've got some more kind of like medium-sized ones. We've got some diddy ones, which is so tiny. I think this one was literally 50p, which is incredible. Some lovely different like colours, some like lighter tones, some darker tones. I really love the kind of marbling in this one. How beautiful is that? I feel like that's going to weather really nicely once it goes outside, and these are always perfect for obviously veg growing. I love them for my herbs and stuff on like my little potting table. If you're doing mint or rosemary or thyme, I definitely want to get a little bit more herbs. I think we could probably do with a few more. My tomato plant behind me is doing really well, and we've got the basil that I always keep on the windowsill that we utilize so much. Every time Alex does a spaghetti bolognese, he basically cuts down my basil to about this tall, and then it has another month to grow back until Alex does another batch cook of spaghetti. Another little medium size. And then the find of the century, I have to say, was actually the pot lid that I picked up at the antique store. Look at this. Does that not just fill you with so much joy? And I've got a few pots outside that I think it would fit really well. I've always wanted to try forcing rhubarb. I think it would be absolutely incredible. And I looked at a few rhubarb forcers and they are so spenny. Whether you find them secondhand or not, even if you get them brand new or secondhand, I cannot find an affordable rhubarb forcer. And the fact that I found this lid, which literally is going to be able to force my rhubarb in basically any pot that I choose, I think that's absolutely incredible. If not, I can just use it as decoration. I feel like things like this in the garden just add so much interest to your garden and are really good when it comes to decorating. And I also have something else that arrived this week that I'm so excited to show you, because all I'm gonna say is that the kitchen garden is getting an upgrade. I wasn't actually planning this until a couple of weeks ago, and I stumbled upon someone who does basically handmade veg trugs and veg beds. And my problem is that I have a very limited space. Like, I don't have a huge amount of space to work with, mainly just because of choices. Like, I feel like I could take away some more areas in the garden if I wanted to, but when it comes to my growing, I actually don't grow a huge amount. The main things I grow are my salads, my lettuces, my spinach and tomatoes. Other than that, I've not tried my hand at so much more. And also I feel like you have a lot of opportunity to grow upwards. You can grow vertically really easily. So until I maybe get my hand in a little bit more and I consider myself something other than a novice gardener, we're still going to keep the kitchen garden a little bit smaller, just a little bit more compact. And I found a lady that creates veg beds that she can do any size, made to order. So I got one ordered and it has arrived and I'm so excited. That's so typical. I literally wanted to come out and show you in the sunshine, and just as I step outside, the sun goes behind a massive cloud. It's quite windy, so hopefully it will come back out. But let me show you my new addition to the kitchen garden. As I said, she's getting an upgrade, and I am so excited about my new veg bed. I'm hoping that you can hear me okay over the wind. I'm going to try and cover the mic a little bit because it is actually blowing quite a bit today. I feel like instead of April showers, we are getting April winds this year. Goodness me. But how beautiful does she look next to my cold frame? So obviously I've got my cold frame still. She is not going anywhere. She's so useful actually, especially when it comes to growing my salad, because obviously last year I didn't get her until my birthday, so I had to wait until June until I could even start sowing any seedlings. So I didn't start getting any any crop until about mid-July. The salad seedlings usually take about 6 weeks to grow. So considering that I sowed these mid-March, hopefully by the end of April we're going to be able to enjoy the fruits of our labour, quite literally, with our new veggies. But this is how the new veg bed is looking, and as you can see, she's teeny tiny. Like, she's really not that big, which I think is perfect, because I'm just going to grow a lot of vertical things here. I'm thinking tomatoes on one side and then maybe do beans on the other, and I just love how diddy she is. It really does go to show that you don't need a huge amount of space to start a kitchen garden. I know whenever you see most people on YouTube, I'm not like most garden YouTubers. Most of them have huge greenhouses. They have beds and beds worth of veg that they can grow. I have just been starting really small and just seeing how it goes, and I have been absolutely loving it. Honestly, gardening is just my happy place. I feel like it's the only time when my brain really starts to switch off. So we just need to get her filled with compost and soil and mulch and get growing. I'm so excited to get started with more veggies, and I'm just so in love with how this little area of the garden is now looking. She's getting an upgrade, and I'm so excited. There's Mr. Sunshine. I knew he'd come back out and join us. Thought I would just show you where I've put the potting table as well, in case you're wondering, because that obviously used to be where the veg bed is now sitting, and I am so happy with this little vignette. I think that's my favourite thing to do with regards to gardening, is just to create these little areas of interest and just add accessories, add pots. Honestly, I really do feel like you can never have too many pots. This one down here I think is going to move shortly, because I need to pot on a few things. A few things are outgrowing their pots and they need something a little bit bigger. In case you're wondering about this bit of wood as well, this was actually here in the garden when we arrived at the house. It was chopped down from the tree at the back of our garden, and actually I really love it as a little bit of a feature. It feels very Limewood House to me, which I absolutely adore. We actually use it as a little side table to put drinks on, and I really like how it looks next to the potting table. As you can see, we have quite the abundance of mint at the moment. I love gardening mint. It's just so easy to garden. I use it so much in summer for cocktails, for mint teas and things like that, and obviously it just grows so easily. If ever you are growing mint, make sure to grow it in a pot, because otherwise it will take over a bed. But we've got some down there, we've got a few here, and I would quite like to pot them in a bigger pot, because I just love coming out, being able to just take little snippets and, you know, make my mocktails and my cocktails. We've also got some rosemary, which Alex loves cooking with as well, which I think might need to go in the beds. I think I might pick up some more rosemary today. And then a little rose. This is a little climbing rose, which probably will need a new obelisk soon. But yeah, I'm so happy with how that's looking. And speaking of obelisks, I hope you'll be able to see them because they're kind of in the shade now. But these are my new obelisks for my sweet peas. Honestly, this border is just the perfect border for the sweet peas. The perfect amount of shade, the perfect amount of sun. They did so well last year, but I found that I didn't have big enough obelisks. I didn't have big enough climbers, so I bought some new ones. I actually just got these off Argos. They were super affordable. I just built them myself, and hopefully they're going to do a little bit better. So I've got 3 obelisks for my 3 different types of sweet peas. So we went for incense in this one, royal in the middle, and then Spencer on the end. And I'm so excited for them to start growing up. Obviously they're looking so tiny at the moment, but in just a few weeks hopefully they will completely take over these climbers, and it just gives us this gorgeous wall of flowers in front of a fence, because I never like a plain fence. I'm the kind of person that, you know, I always want to cover it in foliage or some kind of flower arrangement, and I just love how much the sweet peas will take over this area in the garden. It's one of my favourite views. Another vignette I just absolutely adore. So we are going to get going to the garden centre now. We're just going to go to quite a local one to us. It's It's in Bewley. I can never remember the name of this garden centre, but it's a really lovely, quite a diddy one. They've got a lot of like outdoor plants, a really cute little cafe, some gorgeous like home interior bits as well. And honestly, a day like today, as I said, this is my idea of a really nice day out, a morning walk, an antique centre visit, and a garden centre shop. I can't think of anything better, so let's get going. So back home now, and I have to say it was quite the successful garden centre visit. We have quite the loot. I wasn't actually anticipating picking up any tomatoes, but they had Sweet Million, which is a tomato variety that I really, really want to grow. I've currently just been growing Gardener's Delight on the windowsill, and I will definitely keep these indoors. It's definitely not time to sow tomatoes outside. In fact, it should tell me on here when I can actually start sowing them outside. July. Goodness me, that is quite late. If I had a cloche, I could potentially grow them outside from now and then just keep them in the cloche. Which, speaking of, if anybody knows of any gorgeous like glass cloches, proper like Victorian style cloches that don't cost the earth, please help a girl out, because goodness me, I've been having a look online and they are so spenny. So I think for now I'm just going to grow these in the kitchen and just keep them by the window. Really happy with the Sweet Millions. I then picked up some herbs, which I am very excited to plant out. We have some lemon balm, which I haven't ever grown before. It looks kind of like mint, but I've heard that it's really good for like teas and things like that. Looks really lovely. We've got some chives. I do love growing chives. Alex loves cooking with them, so they're really handy to have. I've actually put some chives out in the border, and I kind of want to leave them to flower, so these are like our, you know, working chives as it was. We then have rosemary Tuscan blue, which just looked really lovely. I want to repot out my rosemary. I'm thinking of adding it to the border actually. And then again, almost having like one as like a working rosemary, one as a decorative rosemary. It sounds so bougie, doesn't it? Absolutely ridiculous. I then have some common sage, which looks very nice. I think Alex will really appreciate that. I was really looking for some basil, but they didn't have any basil whilst we were there. So I think I'm gonna have to pick that up from the supermarket, because I do want to pot up some more basil, because it's one of my absolute favorites. Very exciting. We got some lawn seed, because we have a little patch in our lawn that just needs reseeding and sorting. I've got some garden twine, and then I also picked up a dibber, which I'm very excited about. It's from Kenton Stowe, which is my favourite brand whenever it comes to any kind of garden supplies, trowels, forks, things like that. It's a really lovely brand, like beautiful kind of wood, and hopefully this will make potting out a lot easier, because goodness me, you should have seen what I was using when it came to my lettuces. I literally used a Sharpie to get them out, and this is bougie. You can definitely use a Sharpie, like it's not exactly needed, but I just think it will make life a little bit easier. So an afternoon of gardening is on the cards. Oh my goodness, I really hope I'm not the only person that does this. Can you see that mark on my arm? I was just walking upstairs and I just fully walked into the banister. I swear I have the worst spatial awareness. I'm always like walking into doors, walking into legs. Like I always have bruises on my legs and my arms that I don't know where they came from. That I feel like it's gonna bruise so badly. Can you see it? But good morning. It's Monday morning. I've made myself a lovely cup of coffee, and I am so happy to have gotten all of my plants potted up yesterday. I'll give you a little update today on how they're looking. But goodness me, the sun is shining and I'm in an excellent mood. I've got a little silk scarf on today, which by the way, I've been getting a few questions on how I wear these, and it is honestly the simplest thing in the world. I literally don't even know if this is like the correct way that you're supposed to wear them. But basically, I fold it in half, but by like the triangles. So it kind of ends up being this like triangular shape. And then I basically twist it. Literally twist it up like that. and then wrap it round. And that is all you need to do. And then you can just do a little single knot, you can do a little double knot. I try and like line it up with the collar so it almost looks like it's like a part of the top that I am wearing. I like to do a double knot just to make sure that it definitely stays. And voila, that's all you need to do for a little silk scarf moment. I absolutely adore it. And it goes really well with so many different necklines. I love it with little crew necks. I love it with shirts. Speaking of shirts, I have done a rather large order that we need to go through of some new spring summer shirts from SEZANE. My absolute favorite when it comes to shirts, because I think I mentioned in my wardrobe switchover video, if you watch my SEZANE haul, I do apologize in advance because I basically ordered the wrong thing. I've had a SEZANE shirt in my wardrobe since last year that I've absolutely adored, and I basically just wanted to buy it in every single other color that they did, and I didn't realize I bought the wrong style. So the one that I have is it the boyfriend? The masculine shirt. I'm gonna have to leave a link down below to the exact one that I'll show you, because it is just my favorite in terms of it's like a linen-esque material, but it's not actually linen, so it gives the vibe of linen. It's really lightweight, it's really easy to style, but it doesn't crease like linen. Super, super flattering. I feel like you can just size up a little bit. It's not too oversized, it's not too over dramatic, just so easy to wear. So let me show you what I've been picking up. Honestly, I cannot tell you how excited I have been for this delivery, because I feel like I've really gotten to that point where I am just ready for all of the spring outfits. I mean, the short sleeves are on today, which excites me so, so much. And you know what my motto is at the moment? Basic, but not boring outfits. Just really basic pieces that you can style up time and time again, that you can wear with so many different outfits in so many different ways. It doesn't require a huge amount of like brain activity when getting ready in the morning. I know that sounds really weird, but I don't know about you. I don't have the mental capacity in the morning to put together this like really fabulous outfit. I just want to be comfortable, I want to be really chic and stylish. I'm also loving the new packaging from the SEZANE boxes. So we have not one, not two, but three SEZANE shirts that I am wanting to add into my wardrobe, and I feel like these colors are going to be no surprise to you, because I am just loving a particular color palette at the moment, and that is neutrals, beiges, and blues. Blue is the one color that I feel like really suits my skin tone. I feel like it really makes my skin glow. It is definitely a color palette within my season, and I love it when it comes to springtime. I feel like it's just such a like spring color, just really hopeful, really promising, ready for the new season. So I wanted to add them into my wardrobe now, basically before it's too late. So let me get this right in terms of what the actual name of these shirts are. So these are the Chemise Tomboy shirts. The Tomboy shirts is the one that I feel like is just perfect. I shopped, I think they were called the Max shirts in my last SEZANE haul, my like sit down video, and they were just a little bit too oversized, and the material I didn't love quite as much as I love the Tomboy shirts. So first of all, we just have white, because let's be honest, I feel like everybody just needs a plain white shirt in their collection. I'm sorry if this is like really blinding you, because obviously we've got the windows there, the sun is shining, it's a very bright day, and I feel like this is very stark looking at it on camera. Now, one thing I will say is to always steam and iron your shirts when they first arrive, and when they do actually arrive, they always look a little bit overwhelming, because they very much look like a man's shirt. Like, it looks like your boyfriend's shirt, but what they need is a little bit of styling. That's all we need to do. So I'll style them up with you guys in a minute and show you how I'm going to wear these, but I feel like white is just absolutely classic. I then also picked up this really beautiful, almost like denim blue. Like, it kind of looks like a denim shirt, but it's not. It's a really lovely, really soft material. I would actually say that this is almost softer than the one I already have in my collection. I picked these up in a 42 because I do like to size up just ever so slightly with my shirts. I just feel like it gives that like really undone, really relaxed vibe that you just want to wear at the weekend. What I love about these as well is how many different ways you have to wear them, like how easily they can take you from the transitional season. If it's still cold in your country, I know a lot of the Scandinavians that watch, it is probably still freezing for you, so you can wear it with a pair of jeans, some trainers, a jumper or a cardigan thrown over your shoulders, and then when the weather starts to warm up a little bit, some beautiful mules, maybe some ballet flats, some slingbacks, no jumper, just by itself, a little crossbody bag, and you are good to go. And then when the weather really starts to warm up, when we hit summer, a pair of linen shorts looks adorable with these. And obviously you can wear them into the office, you can wear them when it comes to weekend styling, so I love the colour of that. And then this one I thought was really, really interesting. This literally looks like you're wearing like your boyfriend's shirt, which I kind of love. This very much looks like a man's business shirt. But again, I'm feeling styled up maybe some like white jeans for just casual weekend styling. When you undo a few buttons, roll up the sleeves, these are going to be absolutely gorgeous. And I really love the details in this one. Can you see it's almost got these like mustardy yellow stripes within the white stripes, so it's not like your typical pinstripe. I just thought it was so beautiful. They're so lightweight, they are so easy to style, and I feel like the perfect addition into my spring wardrobe. I've just been waiting for this delivery today because I'm going to be wearing these so much over the coming months. Okay, let me show you how I style up these shirts. Hopefully we're not too stark being right next to the window, but I know you guys much prefer it when I show you the outfits in this way. And as I mentioned, I have given all of these shirts an iron. I have to say, I think I am a bit of an iron convert now. I used to be a steamer gal, but especially when big hauls come and you've got a lot of pieces to get through, I feel like an iron just makes things that extra level of crisp, and then your steamer is a great little like top up. So one thing I would say is this shirt is obviously looking very crisp at the moment, and I actually kind of prefer it with my white shirts. When they get a little bit more movement in, they look a little bit more lived in. This will definitely get a few kind of like lines and creases and will just get a little softer. I've also just undone the top two buttons and the top bottom buttons, and this I feel like just gives you a little bit more shape in the best way possible. It just makes it a little bit looser, a little bit more relaxed. I actually really like wearing them open, like not tucked into jeans. I feel like tucking them in adds a layer of like formality. So if you're thinking about getting these for office wear, work wear, amazing. Tuck them into a beautiful pair of tailored trousers and you are good to go for weekend styling, literally with like a little pair of white trainers and blue jeans. I really love how it looks when it is undone. I'm also just going to undo the buttons on the sleeves. I feel like this also makes a really big impact when you just undo these buttons and actually roll up the sleeves just once or twice, just tuck them into each other. It really doesn't take a lot. I know some girls like to add a little hairband. Personally, I don't. I feel like it kind of cuts off the blood supply, makes it feel a bit more formal. And as you can see, this is the perfect casual weekend outfit. I honestly could not be more in love. I'm really impressed with like the thickness of the white as well. I've got quite a colourful bra on, and I don't think you can really see it through the shirt. So I'm really happy with that because I could not be bothered to change my bra today. But I just love how it looks with the blue jeans. Just really gives me spring vibes. As I said, a jumper over the top, a cardigan over the top. If you want to make it more formal, a blazer over the top. It's just one of those pieces that I feel like you add into your wardrobe and you'll keep it in your wardrobe for decades. Honestly, I am so in love. Oh, I knew this was going to be my favorite shirt out of the three. I mean, just look at that color blue. I don't know what it is, but I feel like this kind of baby blue really suits my skin tone. It just, if I say so myself, makes me glow. I absolutely love it. And I've actually just popped this one on with a pair of linen trousers because I love how it looks. And I really love the kind of juxtaposition of the almost like more structured detail to the shirt with a really loose, creased vibe of the linen. As I've said, you can tuck it in. If you want it to be obviously a little more kind of like formal, if you're maybe going to like a nice ladies lunch, I feel like tucked in it is beautiful. But just for like weekend vibes out in the garden, this is the kind of thing I love gardening in. Just lovely shirts, making me feel beautiful. I feel like it's a very controversial topic whenever you talk about like nice outfits when it comes to gardening. And don't get me wrong, sometimes when it's like a Sunday morning and it's 8 AM and I'm just heading straight out into the garden, I'm still in my pajamas. I will chuck on like my most comfortable slacks and that will be me it. But sometimes when it's like a weekend, I've maybe been out in the morning and I just want to pop into the garden in the afternoon and just do a few little bits. I love wearing lovely outfits. It's something my mum has like always done my whole life, and I kind of thought it was normal. She has beautiful dresses that she wears all the time and she calls them her gardening dresses. And so it was something that I've always like grown up seeing and something that I absolutely adopting. But I know it can be quite controversial, but these kinds of things are so easy to wash. You just steam and iron them again and you are good to go. Honestly, oh, this colorway, I'm so obsessed. This blue as well is just absolutely stunning. I've actually styled this up with a pair of jeans. I felt like this needed a little bit more of like a thicker fabric on the bottom. It needed almost like a little bit more structure, but still something that's super casual. Again, if you want to, you can easily just tuck in and have like a really lovely, more elevated look. In fact, actually, depending on your work code, your dress code in the office, I feel like you could probably get away with wearing white jeans with this into the office because it's just a little bit more formal than the other two. I absolutely adore it. Let me show you actually the one that I have from last year because honestly, it's just my favorite. I wore it so much throughout autumn because of the kind of like coloring of it. It's a really beautiful like brown, and they've also now brought out, I've just seen online, a green version of this exact one. So it's the same kind of like white, almost like linen-y background, but with like a green stripe, and I'm thinking for summer that could be absolutely gorgeous. Like these for me are very much more like springtime, and then green I feel like it's maybe like a late summer, early autumn color, and then the brown is heading into autumn, if you guys catch my drift. I mean, how many shirts is too many shirts? I feel like the limit does not exist. If you ask me, I'm so happy with this haul and the 3 pieces that I've added in from SEZANE, because honestly SEZANE pieces are a bit more of an investment. I won't lie, they're obviously a little bit more on the spenny side, but the SEZANE items that I've added into my wardrobe have lasted me so well. I feel like they're the kind of pieces that I wear time and time again, and it's always so lovely seeing the items like coming back. The fact that that shirt is available again really excites me. So I'll link all of these down below if you do want to shop any of them. I can guarantee you're going to be seeing me stocking them up a lot throughout spring and summer, because I feel like they're going to become such like integral pieces in my spring wardrobe. I love that. So let me show you the fruits of yesterday's labour, or I guess I should say the veg of yesterday's labour. We have a new tomato plant potted up here on the windowsill. So the windowsill is looking very fruitful at the moment. I am loving it. As you can see, the garden furniture is out, my little swingy chair is out, and Alex and I basically spent the rest of the evening last night just sitting outside, enjoying the last of the sunshine and just soaking it up. I absolutely love it. So we've got my basil plant here, a little mint that I propagated. I always like to keep 1 mint inside just so that I have easy access. And then we've got my Gardener's Delight tomato, who is doing really, really well already. And then one of my new Sweet Millions in a little pot. And then the other 2 I've actually just popped down here by the back door, and Alex's gardening shoes, which are the sexiest things in the world. I do love these gardening shoes, I have to say, but they always make me laugh whenever we wear them because they just look so ridiculous. But yes, as you can see, I've given them a little water this morning. I've ran out of bases, terracotta bases, so I'm using some old plates, which is hilarious, but you know what, they do the job. I always feel like when it comes to gardening, whatever does the job is what you need. So more Sweet Million, which I'm so excited about. They get good sunshine, especially in the morning here in this little area. So really, really happy. As I said, they're gonna have to stay inside for a little bit, but as soon as they're ready, we're popping them straight out into the veg bed. And then as you can see, this little vignette has had even more of an upgrade. We've got lots growing here now. So all of my new herbs that I picked up, so we've got rosemary here, we've got chives here, which I might actually give a little trim. I also feel like they grow a lot thicker, they're a lot tastier when you regularly cut them back. We have the lemon balm, which I actually separated and put in 2 different separate little pots. We've got the sage, another little mint there, and then most of the mint I actually popped out into this pot here, a lot of the mint that I was propagating, which seems to be doing really, really well. And then this is where the other lemon balm has gone. This was actually a little pot that I got, gosh, ages ago, I think from HomeSense, which I love. So I'm hoping to be able to grow maybe something else on this side, or we'll see if I can separate the lemon balm again and see how well it thrives. But I just love how it looks when this gets completely overrun in veg, in herbs, in greenery. This is one of my favorite little corners of the garden. I also have potted out, or I guess just popped out our little solar powered lamp, which lights up in the evening, which I absolutely adore. This area just makes me so happy. I love coming out here, using this potting table, seeing all of the herbs that are growing. They fill me with so much joy. So it's a little while later now. I've swapped out the silk scarf for a little pearl necklace. In fact, I have not even done this deliberately, but all of the jewellery I've just popped on is also from SEZANE. I swear, that was a complete accident. I've only just realised now that I'm showing you the pieces. The earrings are SEZANE, little necklace is SEZANE, which I absolutely adore. It's just like a really lovely casual pearl necklace where you just want to elevate your outfit a little bit, but you don't want to go like above and beyond. You don't want to go OTT with your look. And then a little SEZANE bangle, which I absolutely adore. And I'm just doing a little makeup top up because we are actually heading out this evening. I completely forgot to say this actually yesterday. I haven't spoken about this in a video yet, but on Friday we hit 20,000 subscribers here on YouTube, which honestly has been a goal of mine for the longest time. I've been aiming for 20k for pretty much like the last year. It's a number that I feel like has always been like on my dream vision board, like on my hit list, and I cannot believe that we have hit it. I feel very, very lucky to just have like the loveliest community here on YouTube. It's just like a really lovely, feels like a bit of a small family, and I absolutely adore that. I'm so grateful for you guys, and honestly, I cannot believe that we have hit 20,000 of you. So thank you to those of you that have been subscribed, whether you've been subscribed for the longest time, the amount of you that say like, I've been here since your old flat, I've been here since the old house. A few people I feel like have been here A lot of people, I think, got here when Alex and I first got engaged as well, if I remember correctly. I'd love to know how you found me. Comment down below how long you've been around for, how you found me. Was it a particular video? Was it like on Instagram that you kind of like merged over from? I would love to know. So we're heading out tonight. We're going to our favourite restaurant, La Pergola in Lyndhurst, which is a gorgeous little Italian restaurant. I'm really looking forward to some pasta tonight. I'm not going to lie to you, and it's the kind of restaurant where honestly I swear no matter what day of the week you go, obviously we're going on a Monday, it is always busy, like always busy. There is always so many people there. The tables are pretty much always solidly booked out, and I feel like now we're heading into summer, we can obviously spill out onto the veranda, which is really lovely. And it's going to be weird actually, because I couldn't tell you the last time I went to La Pergola in daylight. Obviously the last time we went, it was pitch black before we got there. That's absolutely crazy. So, quick little perfume. I'm gonna do Molten Brown, Bluebell and Wild Strawberry, which you know I'm absolutely adoring. Then I'll show you my outfit because it's nothing special, super chilled, super casual, just a little celebratory meal with friends to celebrate such a milestone. 20,000 subscribers. Honestly, I can't thank you guys enough. To be fair, if this isn't the epitome of a basic but not boring outfit, then I don't know what is. And also the epitome of a day to night look. So I'm literally just wearing the same tee that I had on earlier. I've just swapped out the silk scarf for a little necklace, added my little Sandra jacket over the top, and popped on my favorite caramel trousers. These are the gorgeous like silky soft trousers, obviously in petite, and I really love how they look with a tee like this. They just look so elevated. It looks really like evening-esque, but at the same time I barely made an effort. This is just like what I was wearing throughout the day. This would be a really cute outfit for like a lovely lunch as well. I've popped on my little new look slingbacks. These are the raffia slingbacks because I wanted them to match my bag, and I really wanted to wear my SEZANE bag. This is actually back in stock on SEZANE, which is very exciting because it was one of my favorite purchases from last summer. Just a really beautiful, really gorgeous raffia bag with a little bit of a twist. I love the detailing on the strap, the kind of like braiding to it, I think is beautiful. This almost like woven detail. It's such a shame that it's not on both sides. That's my biggest gripe about the bag, is it feels a little bit cheap that they've only done it on one side, which is a bit of a shame, but it's the kind of bag I feel like you can style up for so many different things. I've worn this to weddings, I've worn this with an outfit like this, I've worn this just, you know, wandering around the city and exploring the New Forest. It's one of those bags that just goes with absolutely everything, in a beautiful designer looking basket bag without the price tag of a designer basket bag. So I absolutely adore her. I'll leave her linked down below because it really excites me that she is back in stock, and I really wanted to wear her with tonight's outfit because I just feel like she's a perfect little like evening bag for just a casual celebratory dinner. So I'm so looking forward to tonight, ready to stuff my face in pasta. And cheers to 20,000 of you guys. As I said, I couldn't be more grateful for you. So let's go out and let's celebrate. I am so happy right now with what is in my hand. I am calling it, I'm declaring it right here, right now. You heard it here first. It is officially iced coffee season, and honestly, nothing puts me in a better mood. I don't know what it is about an iced coffee, but it just hits so differently from a normal coffee. And do you know what I made it with this morning? It is absolutely incredible. A new delivery arrived for me this week from Drink Me Chai, which I absolutely adore their chai lattes. Really love their powders as well, if you just want like a really quick coffee in the morning. And I did look these up, and it says online that they are 99% caffeine free, which is ideal for a girl who's really trying to cut down on my caffeine intake. I know I've spoken about it before, but with my coffees, I'm now only drinking decaf coffees, and then I'm only having caffeine in things like Diet Cokes, which I don't really have that regularly, teas, Earl Grey teas, regular teas. It's the only time I'm really drinking caffeine at the moment, which obviously is a very minimal amount. So the fact that there's only like 1% caffeine in here is ideal. And this is a new flavor from Drink Me Chai. This is the vanilla chai latte. If you like a sweet latte like I do, this is honestly just incredible. So I'm very much going to enjoy my iced latte this morning. The start of iced latte season is here, and I couldn't be happier. As you may be able to tell, the blue shirt from SEZANE is a definite fave. I just feel like this colorway on me suits me so well. And I wanted to show you quickly a new delivery that arrived this morning. I just placed a little Abercrombie order for one pair of trousers actually, which I don't normally do, but these have been out of stock in my size for the longest time. So when I got the notification that they came back, I literally snapped them up so quickly. I must say with Abercrombie trousers, I feel like with the shorter petite sizing, they don't have as much stock, so it can be a little bit tricky to shop. But I have these trousers in burgundy that I got in wintertime, and I absolutely adored them, wore them quite a lot. And as we're heading into summer particularly, I love swapping out things like jeans for a really lovely pair of trousers, and I have a lot of pairs of like white, cream, linen trousers in my collection. Obviously the caramel ones that I was literally wearing yesterday, I absolutely adore, but one of my favorite pairs of cream trousers have got a few marks on, which now even the dry cleaner isn't able to get them out, and I just feel like having quite a few pairs is just quite key in your wardrobe, that you can like swap them out, you can change them. And hear me out, every single pair of like cream or white trousers I have is a slightly different tone, and if you're trying to go for quite a tonal outfit, I find it so difficult. And even having washed a few pieces, I used to have a waistcoat that matched my favorite pair of cream trousers perfectly, absolutely perfectly. Since they've gone through the wash a few times, they no longer match, which kind of breaks my heart, I'm not going to lie. So I think it's really nice to have a few that are like slightly different tones, slightly different materials. These are just a little bit more casual than the caramel ones that I was wearing last night. So these are actually the Curve Love ones from Abercrombie. They are the low, wide, 29 width and 28 leg, I think it is, or 8S. It says 29 8S, I don't know what that means, but I go for a 29 waist in these, and they fit perfectly, and they also have an elastication at the back, so they're perfect for like office wear, they're perfect for like weekend styling. Let's style them up, because I feel like especially with this shirt, they're going to look beautiful. Oh my gosh, I am in love with these, absolutely in love. Abercrombie, I feel like, do curvy trousers for shorter girls so well. I don't need to get these altered, I don't need to get these like taken in or anything like that. They're so comfortable around my waist. The 29 fits perfectly. Now these are a low rise, but for me they actually kind of go up to my waist. I don't really know why they come up so high on me. I guess it's because I have a shorter torso, but it means that obviously the length fits so perfectly, and I love how they look with this shirt. This to me is such a like Nancy Meyers outfit. Pair of slingbacks we can just chuck on, lovely loose casual trousers. As you can see, these are so much more casual than the ones that I was wearing yesterday. I love the caramel ones for more like evening wear styling, but these I feel like are a bit more day to day. If you wanted to elevate this look though, you could obviously tuck the shirt in. That is so badly done, but tuck the shirt in. Let's actually style these up in a few different ways, because I want to make sure that they're going to work hard in my wardrobe. I want to make sure that I've got lots of pieces I can wear them with. Well, this is exciting. The trousers actually match perfectly in tone with my new H&M waistcoat. This is a waistcoat that's got a linen material running through it. It's a linen blend, and I was styling it before now with my linen trousers, which are kind of the same shape and like silhouette as these, but obviously as we're not in like full summer yet, it was feeling a little bit too summery. The materials were a little bit too light, so in order to style it up for spring, I feel like these trousers work perfectly. And this is what I mean when I say about having those matching sets, those colors that just match perfectly. It means that it looks like you have spent hundreds of pounds on a matchy set. You look so pulled together, you look so chic and stylish, and actually you've just mixed and matched pieces that you have in your wardrobe. I guess this is the epitome of creating a capsule wardrobe full of items that pair so beautifully together. I can't get over this color match. That's amazing. They also match so beautifully with my little River Island embroidered jacket. I'm loving this jacket at the moment. I've worn it quite a lot. I feel like they almost elevate the trousers. Wearing it with the shirt makes it very casual, makes it very weekend style. This to me is like beautiful for the office, really lovely for a bit more workwear. Okay, last one, because I don't want to bore you too much by just showing you the same trousers again and again. This is what I love to do when I get new pieces in my wardrobe. I love styling them up with different pieces in different ways for different kind of occasions, and this to me is the epitome of a basic but not boring outfit. This is what I keep harping on about at the moment, because this is so basic when you think about it. We've literally just got the trousers, I've got the slingbacks on again, and then this little tee from SEZANE, which I feel like is going to be one of those pieces I reach for time and time again. It's so comfy, so easy to wear, so simple to style, and yet just looks really lovely and chic. It just looks very effortless, which I absolutely adore. I also feel like because the trousers aren't high-waisted, there is something about this that is elongating my torso. I'm loving it, and I do not have a long torso, so the fact that it's kind of giving me that illusion, I feel like looks really, really nice. I definitely think we can take the label off of these. They're definitely going to be staying in my collection. I definitely think I can justify them. I'm going to get the wear out of them throughout spring and summer. I feel like they are an amazing addition into my wardrobe. I'm not gonna lie, with how busy we have been over the last few nights, I am very much looking forward to having a night in tonight. And don't get me wrong, it's not been bad busy, but just since Friday, we've been out every single evening. Friday night we were out, Saturday night we were at my parents', Sunday we were out in the garden until it literally got dark outside, and then last night I was celebrating 20k. So I've got a night in tonight and I'm really looking forward to it. I'm really going to make the most of it and give myself a good old pamper, because I'm not gonna lie, I am really focusing on my skin at the moment and just getting it to a really good place. If ever you've had issues with your skin, you've gone on a bit of a skin journey, you struggle with acne, breakouts, you do not take for granted those good skin days. And especially in spring, summer, when you don't really want to be wearing an awful lot of makeup, you want something really light, you want really comfortable makeup that really just gives you that little perfected glow. I must say, I feel like my skin has been very glowy at the moment, and I can put that down to one thing, and that is my LED light mask. This is one of those things that I feel like seems like such a gimmick. When you first discover them, you're really skeptical. And I was skeptical at first as well, but now I've got my sister hooked, I've got my mum hooked, I've got my best friends hooked. Everybody loves their LED light mask. And as soon as you start using it like regularly, you can't imagine not using it. You see the results so quickly, and it just becomes such a like integral part of your skincare routine. I use this almost every night, just for 10 minutes. Literally as I'm like getting ready for bed, I'm just like walking around, changing into my PJs. You know, when you're doing the night shift, I've spoken about this before, but I feel like you've got the morning shift or the night shift. So you could do it for either, depending on which person you are, whether you're the person that like locks up, gets the waters, closes up for the evening, or if you're the person that opens up, you can pop it on, walk around, because it's obviously got the battery attached to it, so you can walk around with this. And I just feel like it makes such a difference. I'm really looking forward to giving myself a good old pamper. And I'm going to use some new products that I was sent from a brand called My Blend. It's a new skincare brand that I've not tried before, but can we just talk about how beautiful the packaging is? We've got the Glow Fluid here and the Skin Renewal Peel. I feel like I want a bit of a peel tonight. I just want something that's going to get really deep into my skin. I'm going to give it a little test first though, because my skin can be a little bit sensitive to like really strong chemical peels, but I'm really excited to give it these a go. There's loads of hyaluronic acid, salicylic acids in these, and my skin drinks them up, just responds really, really well to them. So I'm going to have a lovely pampering evening, and I'm actually going to be picking the vlog straight back up tomorrow for next week's weekly vlog, because we have something very exciting happening, something that I have been literally counting down the days to. We booked this in so long ago, and it's one of those things that I feel like I can't believe it has now come around so quickly. So if you haven't hit the subscribe button, you're not going to want to miss it. Next week's video, and we'll also explain why I'm getting my skin to a really good point where I'm just wanting to look beautiful and glowy and maybe a little bit bridal. That is a huge clue as to what's coming next week. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this weekly video. Make sure to tune in obviously Thursday for the fashion videos, and next week for another weekly vlog. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.